Chris Zwicker studied computer science in Switzerland and then joined Swiss banking technology group Avaloq. Until recently he was based in Scotland, running Avaloq's Innovation Centre in Edinburgh. Welcome to Alumni Experience, Chris. How did you come to be working in banking technology?
As part of our studies at ETH, we have to do an internship, and for that I kind of just looked at all the companies within a certain radius because I'm a bit of a lazy guy, so I didn't want to commute too far. I looked at all software companies, and in the end I went to interview with a few of them, and Avaloq just stood out as a very interesting company. It was 60 people at that point of time, so I did my internship with the company and I really liked it.
What does Avaloq do?
As a first thing, we build software. We try to build very high quality software, so we make sure it's rigorously tested and there's really no flaws in it as much as possible. That software is used for banks to run their operations. So anything a bank does, from operating the safes to ATM machines to relationships with clients, we take care of that. And more recently, we've also started to operate that software, so to run it. Most kids today know about clouds, so we kind of operate software in a cloud for our customers to just log in and use.
You came to INSEAD in 2012 to do an EMBA. Did that impact your career, do you think?
Sometimes when I talk about things like finance, previously people said, well, but how would you know? And now there's always, oh yeah, he's done this, so he could actually know. And I think that maybe opened some doors, and particularly the step I'm taking now, I'm going to take up a new role as a member of the executive board in one of our divisions. That would previously maybe not have been so easy.
So you've gone from being a coder, a programmer, to someone who manages other programmers. Do you maybe have to still keep coding a bit just to show that you can still cut it?
No, I don't think you have to show that you can still do it, but I think you have to understand what the team does, and you have to be able to help them with certain things. If you're not able to help them or keep others from interfering or whatever it is that makes you a good leader or manager of a team, well, you'd be useless, right? So there has to be something you do for the team that they recognize as important, or why would they want to put up with you? If that's coding or analysis or good stakeholder management, those are all things you have to do as a software engineer as well. So you might just do more of that and less of something else when you manage a team.
You seem to have made this transition pretty easily. What's the secret to making tech teams work?
I'm not sure there is one secret to that. I think there are different things, and I think different leaders do different things to make their teams effective. I think in tech teams, one of the main things is actually knowing what your people are good at and letting them do that. It is about recruiting the right people, and that's very important to me. Making sure you get the right people into the team, both in terms of capability and fit. And the other thing is, if you get it wrong, cut your losses, make sure you remove that cancer from your team. And I think people will not always like it at first, because nobody likes getting people fired, but in the end they'll be happier for it, and they'll know that we try to build teams that are the best that they can be, and for them to work with very good people is a very motivating thing, I think, for most people.
We're here at the Research and Development Centre, but the head office is obviously in Switzerland. How do you make sure that the head office and the regional offices actually work together?
It's not easy, that's the first thing. One thing is getting people to meet the others. So whenever you have new people, you want them to in some way meet. Usually, well, quite in the beginning that was sending them to Zurich. Now it's people coming over here more frequently, and we try to encourage that. So at least personally getting to know each other is one starting point. Then what you have to do I think, is make sure everybody in each location has an area of ownership. It's their own baby, so to say. If you just work as an extended workbench, it's quite hard to do that. It can work, and some virtual teams work very well, but it's just harder. So if you manage to have a kind of nucleus of 3-4 people in a team in each location that have their own area of ownership, that makes it much easier, because they will work towards a common goal, because they depend on each other, And the best thing is to make them interdependent, actually. So in software, you may have layers. So kind of in one location, you have a lower layer, then another one, and then again in the same location, yet a higher up layer. That can really help to make them interdependent. So to me, those are the two main things, decentral ownership and interdependence between teams.
Let's talk about FinTech, Chris. There are dozens of FinTech firms who think they're going to kind of eat a bank's lunch. As a more established banking technology firm, do you see that happening?
I think FinTech is not just about startups. I very much think we are a big part of financial technology, of FinTech. I think what's new is there's expansions in different areas. There's new ways and different ways of doing certain things. But I see it more as a collaboration between startups and established firms and the banks, our customers. Because building a platform like what we have takes ages. There's thousands of man days or man years actually in this software. For someone to come and just redo that quickly, it's not very easily possible. Yes, you can have new ideas. You can solve certain problems in a more clever, more elegant way. You can definitely do that. But I think it's more about expanding what's possible, going into new areas, making certain digital experiences easier for customers. And we try to leverage that, again, by offering a platform on which certain fintechs or startups can build and offer their products to our customers and then our common customers. So we have this idea of having a market platform which is based on our services, on our software, but others can plug onto. It's kind of like an Apple store with software building on that. So we try and do something like that and allow others to leverage our software again, and of course both to profit, well, all of us to profit.